Welcome back to NFL Recap and Rumors, and welcome to Day 9 of our Trade Predictions mini-series where we talk about one player each day and discuss the most likely landing spots for that player via trade. If you haven't seen Days 1 through 8, I suggest you go check it out. You can find them in our playlist along with this video. But with that out of the way, let's kick Day 9 off. Today we're talking about Jamal Adams, the New York Jets safety. So, last year and over this year's trade deadline, the Jets were talking about trading Jamal Adams, specifically to the Cowboys, and that fell through, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them at least try to follow through and trade away their star safety. I think they're kind of in a rebuilding mode. Sure, Jamal Adams is young, but if they've been talking about trading him before, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't follow through this year. So the first team on here is going to be pretty obvious, the Dallas Cowboys. This is the team the Jets were talking about trading him to over the trade deadline and last year. And sure, the Cowboys got Clinton Dix, but they still could use Jamal Adams. Their cap space is an issue, but they probably could figure that out. And I think that it still makes sense. I don't see any reason why all of a sudden the Cowboys would be like, no, we don't even want to try and trade for Jamal Adams. I think that this still makes sense, even though about half a year has passed, that I still think that it's likely for the Jets to try and trade him to the Cowboys. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns. They were also on Anthony Harris. I think it's more likely that they go after Anthony Harris, because that's who it seemed like they were going to go after in free agency. But if the Vikings trade him to someone else, or they're like, no, we actually wanted to keep him when we tagged him, then the Browns go after Jamal Adams because they can take on his salary cap. They have money. They have $40 million. So I don't see any reason why, if the Vikings trade falls through, that they wouldn't try and get Jamal Adams. He's a good safety as well as Anthony Harris, and he's a little bit younger. So I think this still makes sense. I think it's more likely that they try and trade for Anthony Harris. But again, if that falls through, then I think they could go after Jamal Adams. And I still think it would make sense if the Jets are trying to trade him away. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts. So this is looking a lot like our Anthony Harris video, because both Adams and Harris are both good safeties, and so likely the same teams would be trying to trade for both of them if the other deal falls through. Sure, the Colts have Malik Hooker, but they have the cap room and the safety need to go out and get another really good safety like Jamal Adams. So I would not be surprised at all to see them go out and try and trade for Jamal Adams. I think it makes sense. To close this list off, we can't go with the Miami Dolphins because they're in the same division as the New York Jets, and that trade just would never happen. So instead we're going with the Detroit Lions. They make sense for Anthony Harris too. I think the Dolphins were a little more likely there. But the Lions, they have a huge safety need, and they have the cap space to take this on. And so I think it makes perfect sense. It looks like they're going to take Okudah in the draft, which helps their cornerback need, but they still need to fill their safety need, which is why I think it makes sense for them to go out and try and trade for Jamal Adams. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. And to make sure you don't miss any more upcoming content, hit the notification bell and you'll get notified every time we release a new video. And stay tuned tomorrow. We'll be releasing our last Trade Predictions mini-series video. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.